sorry, you're telling me in the year of the Barbie movie, as coined by Mads, my very favorite creator, in the moment where I'm painting Barbie, literally painting Barbie, is when I have to find out that Greta and Margot are snubbed for Oscar noms. Should I smash my face through this, or should I paint 700 more of them and just start distributing them to the rest of the world?
I mean, you can do whatever you want, but that is what happened, and I don't understand why people are freaking out about this. So, look, what would the Oscars be if there wasn't some like outrage over who got nominated, who didn't get nominated? I mean, it's just like the most recycled news story of all time at this point. But this year, the Barbie movie is at the heart of an identity-based grievance, even though the film itself has been nominated in many categories. And it really has to do with the fact that one of the male actors was nominated, but the woman behind the movie and the main actress in the movie did not get nominated for Best Actress and Best Director. So Barbie received 8 Oscar nominations on Tuesday morning, including the Best Picture. Ryan Gosling, who by the way performed very well in that movie, was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. America Ferrera for Best Supporting Actress. Barbie was also nominated for Best Adapted Screenplay, Costume Design, and Production Design. The other 2 nominations were for original songs, I'm Just Ken and What Was I Made For? But people are upset because director Greta Gerwig and lead actress Margot Robbie didn't receive nominations in specific categories for the film. Now, Gerwig was not nominated for Best Director. Those who were nominated include Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, Christopher Nolan for Oppenheimer, Martin Scorsese for Killers of the Flower Moon, which I just recently watched and was a very good movie, and Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall. Now, Margot Robbie was apparently overlooked for Best Actress. That's what the naysayers are saying here. Those who were nominated for Best Actress include Annette Bening for Nyad, Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall. Anatomy of a Fall, my bad. And then Carey Mulligan for Maestro, Emma Stone for Poor Things. So it should be added that Gerwig and Robbie were nominated for other categories, just not for Best Director and Best Actress. Gerwig got a nod for Best Adapted Screenplay for the film, which she co-wrote with Noah Baumbach. And then Robbie's work as executive producer, for which she is up for Best Picture, included convincing Mattel to take real risks in how the character and the company was portrayed. I don't know, John, like, is it bad that I don't care? Like, why is everyone freaking out about this?
Look, you not caring about who gets an award for a movie is the most reasonable thing in the world. I don't think.
Thank you. I feel like people are gonna be mad that I don't care.
Oh, I'm about to be mad at you. I'm just saying in general, I don't think you're obligated to care about that. I don't care about most of these other movies that you mentioned. They seem like real downers and I didn't watch them. But I did see Barbie, and I think if you're gonna have an awards show and if it's going to celebrate talent and all that, then yes, I do think both of these are snubs. I think, look, they're not.
But why?
They're snubs. What? Why are they snubs? Well, first of all, you can just say directly in comparison to the acknowledgement that Greta Gerwig got as a director and Margot Robbie got as an actress in other awards shows. It is weird that it is out of step with the other awards shows. Generally, those things run roughly in line. I would say I think it like makes perfect sense that Greta Gerwig would be nominated for this, for the sort of project that it is. It is, I think, a very director-centric sort of movie. It's a different sort of movie than you might expect, that required a strong hand, that had a ton of incredibly complex and interesting physical sets, that had huge casted music scenes. I think there's good reason that she should get it. And also generally, Best Picture and Best Director tend to go together because that's how you produce a Best Picture, is with a strong director. And I also think that Margot Robbie, I think, did very well in this. I think that she deserves the nod. I think Ryan Gosling, I honestly think it's kind of weird that he's up for Best Supporting Actor. I always hate the distinction between those two. He was in the entire movie. He should have been up for Best Actor if he's gonna be up for anything. So look, it doesn't matter. People aren't gonna live or die based on these, but I do think that they're snubs.
I think, look, if I were to be cynical, and why not? Let's be
the first
cynical.
time ever.
I think, look, I think that the Academy nominated Ryan Gosling specifically for this movie rather than, the director and main actress, because they would get exactly what they're getting right now. Everyone, would everyone be talking about the Oscars right now if this controversy wasn't happening? And also, okay, let me ask you something. If Ryan Gosling wasn't nominated at all for the film, would people be up in arms about it? It feels like people are demanding that, well, if a man got a nomination from this film, which was obviously targeted toward a female audience and had a feminist message within it, well then, absolutely, then it means that the female actress should absolutely get nominated too. And it just feels, I don't know.
I'm sure there are some people that feel that way. I think that most of the people pointing out just think that it is a topical bit of irony. Considering the message of the film, it seems funny. I don't think anyone's begrudging him the nomination. I don't even really consider myself much of a Ryan Gosling fan, but he was very good in the movie. I was just saying I think he should have been up for Best Actor instead. It's just weird if you're gonna acknowledge him and America Ferrera, which I think that's the weird nomination here. I understand that she did a hell of a job with the monologue that she did, but it was a very small role. It seems
Throwing
out of
Ferrera
line to me with the other.
Controversy.
Oh I think America Ferrera, if given the choice, would have rather had Margot Robbie be up for it. But
you heard it here first, folks. John Iadarola, anti-America. Consider it.
Nice. Anyway, look, I think that Margot Robbie did a really good job and it deserved recognition.
She did.
It was. Look, I understand that she was playing a toy, but it was a complex role. She showcased a lot of emotion. There was an arc there. I think it was interesting. I think the movie succeeded for a lot of different reasons, but I think Margot Robbie was a big part of it and deserved recognition for that.
Yeah, look, I think that a lot of this is, and by the way, I totally agree with you on Margot Robbie's performance. I enjoyed the film. So this is not me trying to poo-poo their performances at all. It's just a lot of this outrage just feels hollow and a little ridiculous at times, and that's where I'm coming from. And I haven't watched all the other films that have been nominated in the categories that are, dealing with all this controversy at the moment, so I can't really weigh in, but a lot of this is subjective. That's the other thing. And I don't know who's in the Academy. I don't know how they make their decisions in regard to who gets nominated, what are their standards, what is their system? I don't know, and honestly, I don't care. What I do know is that this story will be recycled next year with different actors and different people. So buckle up for that.
Thanks for watching. If you become a member, you get to watch all this ad-free, except for, of course, this ad. Still, hit the join button below.